Celebration spoke to Ute Lemper, rehearsing The Blue Angel in Berlin, in Search of Cabaret.
The film In Search of Cabaret is telling the stories of the two greatest legends of the century, Edith Piaf and Marlene Dietrich. I respect these two artists so much that I'm really very happy and very honored myself to be able to sing their repertoire for this program. I'm actually at the moment in a very special situation. I'm sitting in the Theater des Westens in Berlin and we are rehearsing the show Der blaue Engel, the Blue Angel. It is a couple of days after Marlene Dietrich died, and I remember the moment during the orchestra rehearsal everybody was silent for at least some minutes and we were all kind of shocked that this immortal woman really was gone now. But her myth will be immortal and she is the goddess of the movies of this century, that's for sure, and that will never change. And that's why I'm very happy to be able to tribute this program, especially to Marlene Dietrich.
Some illusions, slightly used, second hand. There were lovely illusions.
Ute Lemper is acclaimed as a major talent in her native Germany. She was born in Munster in 1963. At the age of 17, she appeared in the Vienna production of Cats. She has won international awards for her recordings of the songs of Kurt Weill and Bertolt Brecht, which she's performed throughout the world. Choreographer Maurice Béjart created a ballet for her, and she has appeared in several feature films. Now she takes on a new challenge. In a special concert held in Manchester in January 1992, she reinterprets songs made famous by two legendary performers, Edith Piaf and Marlene Dietrich. In planning her concert, Ute Lemper explored the background of Edith Piaf's Songs of the Paris Streets and Dietrich's Echoes of Berlin Cabaret in the 30s. Her repertoire included two songs which the world associates with Piaf and with Dietrich.
Unsere beiden Schatten sehen wie ein Haus, das wir lieb uns hatten, das sah man gleich daraus. Wenn sich die Städte im Nebel drehen, wer wird bei der Laterne stehen? Mit dir, Lady Marlene, mit dir, Lady Marlene.
In spite of difference in age, background and nationality, Marlene Dietrich and Edith Piaf had both a personal friendship and a mutual regard for each other's achievements. Whereas Dietrich, born in 1901, continues to live as a recluse in Paris, Piaf died in 1963 at the age of 47 after a series of illnesses, accidents and personal tragedies.
The two women parts of Piaf and Dietrich are really interesting. I think they are both, in a way, I mean, absolutely solitary and extraordinary and fatalistic in a way that one is meant to die because of the emotion, and one is meant to survive and make the other die for the emotion. The one is the killer and one is the victim.
For the task of rearranging music identified with such contrasting performers as Dietrich and Piaf, Ute Lemper chose the brilliant young French musical director and pianist Bruno Fontaine.
But concerning the Piaf song, I think that as Ute sings perfectly in French, it helps a lot. I mean, for the people to be touched by her interpretation. And I think she was very, very much involved in these songs. I mean, I know that she has been listening and listening over for months before even daring singing them, you know, so she's really completely into the songs. And I would believe that this that there will be a big feeling of truth in all this. I mean.
C'est une chanson qui nous ressemble, toi qui m'aimais, moi qui t'aimais, nous vivions tous les deux ensemble, toi qui m'aimais, moi qui t'aimais. Et la vie c'est pas ceux qui s'aiment tout doucement sans faire de bruit. Et la mer efface sur le sable les pas des amants désunis. Nous vivions tous les deux ensemble, toi qui m'aimais, moi qui t'aimais. Et la vie sépare ceux qui s'aiment tout doucement sans faire de bruit. Et la mer efface sur le sable les pas des amants
Edith Piaf recorded L'Accordéoniste in 1955 when she was 40 and at the height of her popularity. It was composed by her longtime friend and collaborator Ute Lemper and became one of her greatest hits.
So this song, L'Accordéoniste, is a very typical French song about love, like almost all French songs, and about sadness and about the drama of love. It's about a beautiful girl. She's a prostitute and she's very much in love with an accordion player who is playing the java, which is a typical French dance. Then the accordion player leaves and go to war, and the girl, poor girl, is left all alone, and she's thinking back of about the happy times where she was dancing to the accordion, dancing the java.
Son nom est un artiste, c'est un drôle de petit gars, un accordéoniste qui sait jouer la java. Elle entend la java, mais elle ne la danse pas, elle ne regarde même pas la piste. Et ses yeux amoureux suivent le jeu nerveux et les doigts qui l'ont de l'artiste. Ça lui entre dans la peau, parlant pas par là haut, elle a envie de chanter ses physiques. C'est une être étendue, son souffle est suspendu, c'est une vraie tortue de la musique.
And it has this crazy thing at the end when she wants to dance and she goes faster and faster and faster, and then arrêtez la musique. It's just so dramatic, this song. Maybe it would be a nice link after accordionist to go directly into Polichinelle. What do you think?
I mean,
Then,
without even
she's like
stopping.
collapsing on the floor
Yes.
in accordionist.
Oh yeah, you mean going from the spinning
Yeah.
madness and then
Yeah.
reanimated
Yeah.
from, yes, it's a good idea.
Edith Piaf recorded Polichinelle, the marionette song, in 1962, the year before she died.
It's a very ironical song, Polichinelle.
Yes.
Don't you see it like a song? I mean, she's like a marionette somehow, and in the beginning, absolutely stiff, and I don't know. It's very sexy song somehow. It has this a bit of a jazzy element maybe somehow in the beginning, and but I don't know. We have to like kind of find effects that the movements are abrupt, that I can make abrupt movements, and
Yeah, like a puppet going
like a
back to
puppet.
life. Or,
Yeah.
Tire les ficelles, et Polichinelle te tendra les bras. Tourne la baguette, et ta marionnette penchera la tête et te sourira. Ton côté droit l'est commande mes restes, tu t'en fous du reste, ça ne compte pas. Tire les ficelles, les Polichinelle aussitôt.
It's good. I mean, it's actually, I think, nearly the only song from Piaf, or one of the few songs where she's really having a strong statement, and she is stronger than the man,
Yes.
and she will get rid of him, and she will show her, she will be the one who wins. I mean, the most, I would say, feminist song is a completely wrong word, but the most
Yeah, I know what you mean.
strong song where her
yeah.
personality. Otherwise, she's always the loser. Piaf is always the loser in the songs, or the girl singing the Piaf songs would be always the loser. She's always possessed by something,
Yes.
or obsédée par quelque chose.
And musically speaking, for this one, it could be done. The ending could be like a very, very strong big band style ending, you know, in Polichinelle, because
Oh, yeah.
to really end on a very strong and positive feeling.
En brisant le charme, je retrouve, voilà, je redeviens pas, je redeviens moi. Faut que t'en profites, oh, ça laisse vite, et le jour viendra où ça cassera, où ça cassera.
I am a solitary, and I love my profession, and I love being on stage, and I can be everywhere home. As far as I have some friends and I have a theater to play in, that's just my life. It's not an everyday life. And that's why I want to live in a big city where I can be anonymous and my neighbor is not looking into my living room what I'm doing. And that's why, for me, it's Berlin, it's London, it's Paris, it's maybe New York, where I want to live, because I feel home everywhere. And there are a lot of solitudes in the world who can feel the same thing like I feel. Allein in einer großen Stadt, Alone in a Big City, is a song written by Max Kolpert, and Marlene Dietrich sang it a lot of times. That's how I know the song. Being alone in a big city probably meant in the 1920s, 30s, 40s But I think it's very expressive as well for the fact being alone in a big city today.
Man lebt in einer großen Stadt und ist doch so allein. Der Mann, nach dem man Sehnsucht hat, scheint noch nicht da zu sein. Man kennt ihn nicht und kennt ihn doch genau. Man hat nur Angst, dass er vorübergeht und sucht bei anderen ihn und bleibt doch seine Frau, bis man ihm plötzlich gegenübersteht. Was man sagen soll, und man findet alles so banal. Und man nahm doch früher noch den Mund so voll, und nun stottert man mit einem Mal. Alles das, was man sich vorgenommen hat, ihm sofort im ersten Augenblick zu sagen. Das vergisst man glatt, denn es sagt sein Blick, dass er einlängst verstanden hat.
Berlin is a city which lived now for 40 years in between two worlds, and Berlin was never West Germany. When I was living here in '84, they never treated Berlin as West Germany. It was a state in itself. A wall was a daily appearance. Every day when you went to the theater with my bicycle, I saw the wall, and I never ever in my life thought that something would happen and would change. It was just absolute definite appearance. And all these scars are, in a way, beautiful because they are real and they don't create an illusion. They are not lying.
Want to buy some illusion, slightly used, second hand. There were lovely illusions and they're all just for you. I sell them all for a penny. They make pretty souvenirs. Take my lovely illusions, some for
Here. This is the Babylon Cinema. It was built in 1925. 5 years later, the film The Blue Angel was released, and Marlene Dietrich became a star.
Ich bin von Kopf bis Fuß auf Liebe eingestellt, denn das ist meine Welt und sonst gar nichts.
I'm so much inside of myself when I'm performing a song that there's just me and the situation. I don't really worry about it. It's more maybe a worry in the mind of the spectator for the listener that he might have the other version in front of his eyes, but not for me actually. No.
Das ist, was soll ich machen, meine Natur. Ich kann halt lieben und sonst gar nicht. Meine Augen schwirren mich im Motten das Licht. Und wenn sie verbrennen, ja dafür kann ich nicht fall in love again. Never wanted to. What am I to do? I can't help it.
So now here we're in the DEFA studios, DEFA, Deutsche Film Atelier Studios. In 1930 they shooted here the film The Blue Angel, and a couple of years before Fritz Lang was doing Metropolis here. So there's really a lot of histories in these ateliers. I don't know about this dressing room. They say Marlene Dietrich was here for the film The Blue Angel. I don't really believe in that, but who knows, there might be some magic left. And so after the war, the DDR, East Germany, had actually really neglected completely the care of these buildings, like they did with the complete architecture of the socialist countries. So I wonder what will happen now to these studios. They call it now the big hall, the major hall, Marlene Dietrich Hall. It's the hall where for the first time they had shot sound movies, and it was constructed really to record sound.
They call me Natina, the whitest garnet. At Fionola, it worked for all its worth. I worked on the flowers, I can't keep them away. So when a good pianola keeps working night and day.
What I was searching for in interpreting the songs which once Dietrich sang is really for this aspect of a femme fatale. These songs were created in a period which was extremely political, and by that time a cabaret really existed. A cabaret in a way that it was political, it had always political irony and sarcasm and parody about the situation. It was very rebellion and very, very fresh-minded and very courageous. It was always on the left side, of course, always more from the left, political left side. And it had, but it had at the same time the entertainment aspect.
Ich bin die fesche Lola, der Liebling der Saison, und hab ein Pianola zu Hause in meinem Salon. Und will mich wer begleiten, da unten aus dem Saal, dem hau ich in die Seiten und leid ihm aufs Pedal. Lola, Lola, jeder weiß, wer ich bin, sieht man nur noch mal hin, schon vergaß ich der Sinn. Männer, Männer, keinen Küssekier und allein am Klavier, sing die Zeile Knie. They call me Fishy Lola, the wisest girl on earth. At home my pianola, it's a work for all it's worth. Now I tell you a secret, don't hammer on my keys, for little pianissimo is always about to please. Lola, 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 Lola.
I think in between the two world wars there must have been a lot of places like this in Berlin, of live entertainment and variety and tingle-tangle. Fortunately, this one was reopened 2 years ago. And now this whole thing maybe is reborn.
I find out that I'm a minimalist.
Yeah.
So I try to do with the minimum the maximum. For example, magic, I find something with my finger, so I do this finger magic. It's very difficult to understand how it works. You know?
Crazy.
But you know, that's what I mean. It's very small. I think very small.
So you
going
don't speak
very
at all?
slow. Sometimes it's not really words what coming out, you know, but Geräusche, how you say?
Some kind of...
Yeah, some kind of...
Yeah.
That's it.
This is maybe something, a new desire that variety will revive somehow.
When television came up, nobody went out. We discovered also from 47 to 54, it was cinema here, and when they didn't have any film because they had problems to produce films after the war, they had also variety shows to replace the evening, also to have a show, to have something, you know. And then when the TV came up, all the good artists or talk masters from variety, they went to TV. And nobody went anymore in big halls to see something. Everybody had this clack at home. And now it's different. It's high speed and it's too much technical. 1,500 channel. And I think also the time is and I think the time is right for live entertainment.
Lola, 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 Lola.
What I think about now, of course, Berlin of today, everything has changed. And when the wall came down in '89, in October, in November, and suddenly a new world started, a new dimension started. There was a big emotion involved. I mean, the first month really were happening in a state of enthusiasm, because it was a deep human experience to see the other side, to see that there were people and you come together, and because it's not explainable. I mean, I was deeply touched when it happened, and to think a lot of German people were. Now, after the Money reunion on the 1st of July 1990, and after the unification, I mean the legal unification, everything is very difficult. Well, now you see the cripples from the socialist systems, the Romanian people coming over, the Gypsies coming over, the Bulgarian people coming over, the Russian people coming over, the Polish people coming over, inflating the black market and looking for work. Alte Rubel?
Ja, Gavarilla Badimiecki. Are you Russian? You see those people, they are still very afraid. I mean, they lived in this oppression and they can't get rid of it. They're probably Armenian, I think. Again, some stones from the wall. Mauersteine?
10 Mark. 10 Mark. 4 Mark.
Sind Sie Russe?
Nein. Ich
Are you
Kurdish.
Oh, you're Kurdish. And you're selling stones and you're Kurdish.
Market, sneak around the corner. Market, peek around the corner. Come, I'll show you things you cannot get elsewhere. Come, make wealthy offers and you'll get your share. Market, leases for the missus, chewing gum for kisses. Got some broken down ideals like wedding rings. Shh, tiptoe, trade your things. I'll trade you for your candy, some gorgeous merchandise. My comrades a dandy, 6 by 9, just your size. You want my porcelain figure, or watch a submarine, a Rembrandt salami, black lingerie from Bean. I'm sending out, take all I've got. No stealing, no feeling, and every smooth routine. You buy my goods, and boy, my goods are keen.
Pounds at Littlewoods on family glue.
Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. ni le bien qu'on m'a fait, ni le mal, tout ça m'est bien égal. Non, rien de rien, non, je ne regrette rien.
Edith Piaf's songs evoke a different world from Marlene Dietrich's Berlin cabaret songs of the 1920s and 30s. Piaf is the voice of the Paris markets and back streets, the milieu into which she was born.
Avec mes souvenirs, j'ai allumé le feu.
Out of that, she kept an innocence and a natural and a naivete and spontaneity and I don't know, a little heart. She was a little bird, really fragile, really vulnerable. Every song really goes down to the edge of the soul. I mean, you experience in every song the fact being neglected, being not the privileged one in life, not being rich, not being having everything you want, but trying to be happy in a much more profound way and looking for love and looking for relations, for emotions. And I mean, Piaf is really describing, because of her life, really the shadowy side of the street. To have the courage to express misery but be happy in this misery. This is something very French.
Elle était toute noire de péché, avec un pauvre visage tout pâle. Pourtant il y avait dans le fond de ses yeux comme quelque chose de miraculeux qui semblait mettre un peu de ciel bleu dans celui tout seul de Pigalle.
I wonder how this cafe in Rue Pigalle looked like in 1939, when Raymond Assau was writing for Edith Piaf the song Elle fréquentait la Rue Pigalle. Edith Piaf was 24 by that time. It tells the story about this woman who's living here in the seedy area of Pigalle, selling love every day, but never really feeling it. But nevertheless, maybe because of that, there was still this little hope and this little sparkle in her eyes that one day something might change. And there's only one thing she's dreaming about, is a new, bright, light day in the elegant part of Paris, in Montparnasse.
Et sur les trottoirs pleins de souvenirs, elle voyait son amour se pétrir, alors elle lui demanda de partir. Il l'amena vers Montparnasse.
So now she thinks a new life is starting. But in the daylight of Montparnasse, her man tells her that her past is written in her face, and that's too ugly, and that there is no place for her. In despair and disillusioned, she makes her way back to Pigalle, her home, the only place she knows, where love is only affordable for 50 francs. Her dream is shattered.
Elle est retournée dans son Pigalle. Il n'y a plus personne pour la repêcher. Elle a retrouvé tous ses péchés, ses coins d'ombrés, ses trottoirs sales. Et quand elle voit des amoureux qui remontent la rue d'un air joyeux, il y a des larmes dans ses grands yeux bleus qui coulent le long des joues toutes pâles.
The stage is something I always would want to do, I think, and for me it's a very essential ventil as well to let out things, and sometimes more beautiful than life, I have to say.
Mais oui, dansez Milord, la 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 di da da, la 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 di da da, la di da 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 da, bravo Milord, la 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 di da da, la 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 di da da, la di da 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 da, encore Milord, la 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 di da da, la 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 di da da, la di da 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 da.
One of the songs most identified with Edith Piaf was written in 1958 by a 24-year-old Greek composer. Georges Mustaki wrote the lyrics of Milord, and his association and close relationship with Piaf provided the launching pad for a highly successful career as a writer, lyricist and performer.
She enjoyed life. I mean, we had an image of her very sad, but she was very...
Oh, I'm sure.
Elle était très gaie, très...
She drank the life.
Yeah, she drank also too much.
Yeah.
And
so how did you write this song? I mean, how did you come to the story of Milord?
She wanted me to write this song in London. The story was in London, a very despairing love affair, because she said London, a Sunday in London is the worst town of the world. When
That's
you have
true.
a pain, you feel so lonely. At that moment, at least, it's like 35 years ago. And she wanted a very dramatic love song in London, a Sunday in London, like a gloomy Sunday. And I started the song putting some words on a paper and a tablecloth in a restaurant, and came the word Milord, and she put something around the word Milord, and she said, forget the London song and do something about Milord. I love this word, and we can do a very beautiful song. And she presented me for the first time to the press, and she said this gentleman made this song, and she sang Milord, and it was very enthusiastic.
I guess, I mean, she could have sang anything anyhow.
Yes.
It would have been great as well.
I have to make you a gift, because I wrote with Marguerite a song for Piaf, and unfortunately Piaf never sang it. So I have an original inédit of Marguerite and me song. One day you will sing it.
Oh my God, that would be wonderful. I would love to.
I mean, as long as I can notice that you are so touched by Piaf's song.
Allez chanter Milord, allez riez Milord. Eh oui. Et hop!
Back in Paris 3 weeks later, Georges Mustaki introduced Ute Lemper to his song written for Piaf, which he called Un rendez-vous dans l'irréel, a meeting in an unreal world.
Les plus beaux rêves pour rêver, et devant nous à ciel ouvert, le point de vue sur l'univers, l'horizon pour nous promener pendant des mois et des années, pendant que la plus belle erreur, le soleil nous éclairera.
On peut refaire ça? Can we just do this? So this, so here is a key change, or
Yes.
yeah.
Now it changed every here, and here.
So you go over that how much? One step?
Celle étendresse la clarté en prévision des jours d'été.
L'hiver sera morte saison. Plus jamais nous n'en parlerons. À chaque mot désormais, on s'aimera comme on s'aimait. Et ce
Sont plus dans le ciel pour vivre un amour éternel sans rien dire de leur projet, mais
et on s'y n'allait que voyager.
Mais ils m'ont dit un grand secret qui ne reviendront plus jamais, qui ne reviendront plus jamais.
A premier. That's really the first step.
No, but what?
It could be so beautiful.
No, what is a big pleasure for me that I did this almost so many years ago, and I thought I will never do it around this song, and hearing you sing it, you cannot imagine what it's like. Something that was here, and suddenly it started to like in a cartoon, you know, the magic lamp of Aladdin, the voice that's out.
Oh yes.
Rendez-vous dans les riels, c'est une échappée vers le ciel, dans des draps de brumant satin, sertis de rose et du matin. Un nuage pour oreiller, les toits de la villa à nos pieds, un arc-en-ciel pour baldaquin, ton cœur, mon cœur, qui ne font qu'un. Une étoile à notre chevet, les plus beaux rêves pour rêver, et devant nous un ciel ouvert, le point de vue sur l'univers, l'horizon pour nous promener pendant des mois et des années, pendant que la pluie balayera, le soleil nous le vent mettra dans tes cheveux la rose des vents dans tes yeux, le ciel étendra sa clarté en provision des jours d'été. L'hiver sera morte saison, plus jamais nous n'en parlerons. À chaque beau jour désormais, on s'aimera comme on s'aimait. Ils se sont enfuis dans le ciel pour vivre un amour éternel, sans rien dire de leur projet, comme s'ils allaient voyager. Mais ils m'ont dit un grand secret, qu'ils ne reviendront plus jamais, qu'ils ne reviendront plus jamais.
I think in being a woman today, you are extremely free and you have a lot of possibilities you didn't have in the 1930s and 40s. And the women actually who sang these songs I'm singing now were always outsiders of the society, were always asocial people. Today you don't have to be asocial to be in the situation those women were, like Edith Piaf and Marlene Dietrich. Those were women who struggled. They were all Mother Courage. They were all the ones who, you take anything away from them and they still will survive somehow till they destroy themselves. But now, in having women making careers, having women living apart and knowing that women don't need men to be happy, it is a different way. And I think these songs are absolutely strong and they have a meaning today. Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. Ni le bien qu'on m'a fait, ni le mal. Tout ça m'est bien égal. Non. Payer, oublier, balayer, je m'en fous du passé. I'm never personally satisfied with something which is given to me. I always have to construct it myself and I have to build it myself, and I cannot go into a bed which is made for me. I have to first do it myself. And that's just the way I am. I am an absolute rebellion against anything, against any system, against any structure and any demand. And I'm very demanding with myself and painful with myself, and that's why I'm the same way with other people. I have find somehow a peace in myself.